The level of tension raises another notch, especially for five-time and defending national champion Jeff Jacobs. To obtain an unprecedented 6th straight national championship, Jeff must win every event. But even then, his destiny is still in the hands of someone else. Tour leader Victor Sheldon must lose in a big way from here on out, and the likelihood of that looks slim, considering Victor has finished in the top 4 of every race this year. The fact is that Victor Sheldon could nail down his first pro overall national championship at this event. Also up for grabs is the crown in the Pro X2 and the Pro Freestyle. Stay with us for action so intense you won't believe your eyes. As Westcoast Performance presents the Florida Nationals, it's Jet Sports Racing on ESPN. Welcome to round number 9 of the Bud Jet Sports Tour. Today from Fort Myers Beach, Florida, it is the Westcoast Performance Florida Nationals. David Stanfield, two-time world champion Larry Rippenkruger. Larry, let's go back earlier this morning. Our last slalom of the season, and Victor Sheldon looked good, and it was tough luck for Jeff Jacobs.
Well, they were both tied coming into this event. Jeff had a great run. He's always the favorite in the slalom event, but Victor had a phenomenal run. He won that, and he clinched the slalom championship.
Now, the woes for Jeff Jacobs, our defending national champion. He has had a tough year, and it continued in Pro Mod qualifying.
In that qualifier, Jeff was off to a fast start, leading the race, but mechanical problems dropped him out of it. He had to go to a last chance round to get into the main event. But in that earlier qualifier, it was the top rookie pro, Bill Pointer, who won convincingly.
Then in Pro Modified race number 1, Harry Gocher, Hall and H got the whole shot.
Big hole shot for Harry Gocher. Another flash of brilliance, but another missed buoy cost him the lead. Victor Sheldon took over the lead, went on to win, but Jeff Jacobs continued with his bad luck, finishing a distant third.
Let's talk about the course right now. Smooth conditions, but a little bump on the water.
Well, it's deceivingly rough. It looks smooth from shore, but once you get out there, it's a little choppy. From the beach, the riders accelerate out to a right-hand first turn, right-hand sweeper. Once again, it is a right-hand race course. They will continue around the sweeper into a hard switchback section, a left, a right, another hard left, and then another right, which leads them into the front straightaway. Down the front straightaway into another right away from shore, another hard left, a right, and then into a double sweeper section, a sweeping left, a sweeping right, then a long back straightaway. I don't think the conditions, as rough as they are, the speeds aren't going to be quite as fast as you have been in the past. From there, they will continue back through the right-hand side of the course, cross the finish line to complete lap number 1, and continue on for a total of 10 laps.
Now, we have radar again today, but radar will be a little bit different. It really won't judge the top boat speed.
Well, I think the radar readings today are going to be a little deceptive as well. Compared to what these skis are capable of doing, it won't show that. I think it's more of a comparison factor that'll come in handy.
Pro Modified race number 2 on the line, the bottom line for Victor Sheldon.
Well, Victor Sheldon, I think a consistent finish is all he needs to do. As long as he doesn't have a mechanical problem, the championship's looking real good.
And so Jeff Jacobs, he needs to win, and he's going to hope for a little bad luck?
Jeff is going to have to win, and it's really out of his hands. Unless Victor breaks, I think it's just about sewed up.
Victor Sheldon, 25 years old, out of Vista, California, looking for a clean sweep today.
Well, Victor is trying to break that Fort Myers taboo. Last year, according to his account, this was the worst stop on tour for him.
Out of Las Vegas, Nevada comes Harry Gocher, 22 years old. Now, Harry sunk his boat last year here.
Another Fort Myers victim last year, but Harry seems to have turned it around already. In Pro Mod number 1, he was leading that race. Unfortunately, a missed buoy cost him the win, but he's looking good.
Then there's Chris Fischetti, 24 years old, out of El Cajon, California. Chris is very fast.
Chris has led a number of races this year. The key factor here is whether or not he's got his endurance up to speed yet.
But the crowd favorite has to be local kid, the kid himself, Chris the Kid McCluggage out of Naples, Florida. Everybody on the beach is cheering for him.
Well, Dave, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Chris is the most improved rider on tour, and he is bound to win one before this year's over.
On pole position, the 750 of Harry Gocher, boat number 4. Jeff Jacobs, you can see him on the far side there, a poor qualifying position. Gocher watching for the rubber band to snap. Uh-oh.
Now there's a problem, Dave. Red flag is flying. They're going to bring this one back to the line. Harry Gocher is going to have to start the next start with his hand on his helmet and his engine dead.
Harry Gocher a little over anxious after just about winning Pro Modified race number 1. Take a look, just about clotheslined. He had to duck underneath the rubber band.
And look at the white boat, number 9, Chris McCluggage, off to a fantastic jump there. He's going to be just as disappointed as Harry if they're going to restart this.
Now, Harry Gocher is going to be penalized. What exactly is the penalty for jumping?
On the restart, Harry will have to hold his ski by himself without the aid of his holder. The engine will be dead, and he'll have one hand on his helmet. He won't be able to remove it until the rubber band snaps.
Ominous weather moving in from the south. Things could get interesting. We'll try once again to get underway with Pro Modified race number 2 as the Westcoast Performance Florida Nationals, Fort Myers Beach, Florida. David Stanfield, Larry Riffenkroger. Round number 9 of the IGSBA Bud Jet Sports Tour. Pro Modified race number 2, our second attempt.
On the line closest to us, Harry Gocher. Hand on his helmet, a distinct disadvantage on this restart. It's going to be real interesting to see if he can make do with it, though.
A dead engine start for Harry Gocher. Everybody off cleanly. Quick start for Harry Gocher, though.
His engine fired right away. He's off to a good start, but look, once again, Chris McCluggage is off to a great start. Listen to the crowd, Dave.
On the outside, it's Chris Fischetti, and on the far outside is Jeff Jacobs. Here comes Victor Sheldon on the inside, trying to move Victor Sheldon from 4th to 2nd place. What a move.
Fantastic move by Victor Sheldon, attacking the race course. That inside lane made all the difference.
Victor Sheldon, boat number 2, trying to chase down boat number 9X, the white boat. Chris the Kid McCluggage, the crowd is going crazy. From the top of the Lanikai Island Resort, we can see the top 3 riders, led by Chris the Kid McCluggage, 18 years old, out of Naples, Florida.
Dave, things are going to get wild. That storm is already here. Look at the water. You can see how choppy it is already.
Chris McCluggage, a great start. In Pro Modified race number 2, it was red flag the first time. The second time, he backed it up with another hole shot.
Off to a fantastic jump up over the front of the ski, keeping it hooked up right up against the yellow first turn buoy on the inside. And then you see the riders stacking up behind, and Victor Sheldon closest to us on the inside. Chris Fischetti sneaking in for second, and Jeff Jacobs stuck way out on the outside. That's going to cost him. As they come back in, there's the fantastic move by Victor Sheldon. He goes from 4th to 2nd in one move.
The weather has taken a turn for the worse, but boat number 9X, the white Protec 650 of Chris the Kid McCluggage, leads.
And in 4th place, Jeff Jacobs. It is do or die for him. He has to beat Victor Sheldon if he's going to have any hopes of pulling off another national championship this year.
Top 5, McCluggage, Sheldon, Fischetti, followed by Jeff Jacobs and Billy Pointer. And the duration time between Jeff Jacobs and Victor Sheldon. Sheldon in 2nd. And back to 4th place is Jeff Jacobs. The battle for the national championship, 7.9 seconds.
And the chop is getting worse, and somehow in this mess, Jeff is going to have to find that Jacobs rhythm and attack, and he's doing it now. He's trying to get by Fischetti. Oh, and he goes down.
Jacobs almost submarines at about 30 miles an hour. His feet come out of the tray. Now he and his ski are separated down the back straightaway.
We've got an IGSBA official. He's going to get it back to his ski. That's much safer than having Jeff float out in the water by himself. He's not going to lose that much time.
He is still in 4th at this point. Make that in 5th spot. There goes super rookie Billy Pointer on the West Coast machine. So Jacobs drops back to 5th.
Jacobs is going to have to pull out all the stops now. He has to get back into the hunt. He has to catch Victor Sheldon.
In 4th place is Billy Pointer, boat number 35, and this is Jeff Jacobs, boat number 1. Trying to defend his national championship. It is slipping away from him in this windy Gulf Coast weather.
On the replay, Jacobs hits a wave, a big flying W. He was pulling out all the stops, trying to do anything possible to get by Fischetti, and that time the gamble did not pay off.
Jeff Jacobs, the defending national champion, in 5th position right now. He has 9 Pro Modified wins, but he opened the season in the first 2 races with 3 DNFs, 3 15th place finishes. He makes the move. Billy Pointer hits some chopping. Jeff Jacobs blitzed by him in the back straightaway.
Jeff Jacobs riding psychotically down that back straightaway. He is going for it, Dave. There is no reason for him to hold anything back. At this stage in the game, he's got to be feeling the frustration. This is the first time in his career he is not in the lead at this point in the season. And if things were to end this way, the national championship would be Victor Sheldon's.
Our leader, boat number 9X, the white boat piloted by Chris the Kid McCluggage, in the lead. The top 5 positions have stabilized. The race conditions, however, have changed dramatically from what they were just an hour ago. And in Pro Modified race number 2, our leader, 9X, Chris the Kid McCluggage. And take a look at Victor Sheldon, boat number 2 out of Vista, California, down the back straight.
Victor Sheldon on that Butch's 750, taking a tremendous pounding, but only a half a lap away from clinching the national championship.
Consistency might pay off for Victor Sheldon. He's so close, but receiving the checkered flag, Pro Modified race number 2, it looks like it's going to be Chris the Kid McCluggage. Just a couple of more turns. What a great ride in absolutely horrendous conditions.
And listen to the crowd, Dave. The hometown boy comes through.
McCluggage jumps off a ski into 2 feet of water. Victor Sheldon, a big hug. Sheldon, our new national champion. Chris the Kid McCluggage with his first ever pro modified win.
McCluggage being mauled by his crew. He had a disappointing 10th place finish in Pro Modified #1, and I think that may have been the fuel added to the fire that gave him the determination to win this Pro Modified
lead and 1 event to go. Victor Sheldon has captured the national title. Larry Riffenkroger is standing by with Chris McCluggage and Victor.
Well, thanks, Dave. We've got near monsoon conditions down here, but a couple of happy guys. Well, Chris, I think personally it's a great satisfaction to see you win one because I've been predicting it all season long.
Yeah, you've been saying to me since the beginning of the year you're going to win one. Said maybe in Fort Myers. But I guess it did happen in Fort Myers.
I got to ask you about the controversy earlier. You were called on a missed buoy in Pro Modified #1. Was that part of the motivation for going out there and riding so hard in Pro Mod #2?
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about the missed buoy subject, but that got me kind of mad, and I just went out there, rode my hardest. Boats hooked up perfect. Yamaha's flew.
I was going to say, your sponsors have got to be real pleased with his first national win for them.
Yeah, I'd like to thank ProTech and SCATRAC. That boat's hooking up so good, and I'm just so happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Victor Sheldon, the man of the hour, the man of the year for that matter. Fantastic year, and we just got word you just clinched the national championship overall.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. You know, I'm speechless. I mean, it's been a dream for a long time, and it's finally happened. This weekend, I mean, I was pretty worried about it actually because I've had a lot of bad luck in Fort Myers. I've lost a couple championships here, so you know, I was pretty worried coming in this weekend, and you know, I mean, and look what's happened. You know, the storm came, and the storm's here, and we stormed it this weekend, so it couldn't happen any better. I mean, Fort Myers was one of the funnest races I've had all year long, even though I lost the second race, but you know, Chris has been there all year, and he really deserves the win. So my hat's off to him today.
What was going through your mind midway through that race when all of a sudden the conditions started changing so radically?
That was the weirdest race I've ever been on. I mean, we take off, and the sun's out, you know. It's flat water, no ripples or nothing, and then, I mean, we get not but 2 laps into the race, and there's 3-foot swells, you know, and you know, and we're swapping every which way, and it was the weirdest thing, but it made a really exciting race, and you know, I mean, these type of conditions make for a good racing for the jet ski tour.
Well, congratulations, Victor.
Thank you.
Well, Dave, it's windy, it's wet, but I don't think it matters to these guys. A couple of happy fellas.
Woo! Right on.
Sheldon and Jacobs first and second, that's a done deal. But Harry Gocher and Chris Fischetti, what a battle for third. One more event to go, 5 points separate.